Hello everybody, welcome to my latest video on Towers of Aghasba. This is for the release of update 11, and first things first, the health bar's changed. As you can see, it's now a radial health bar. Still has that odd pulsing, but it's no longer all the way across the screen blotting out all the information. The stamina bar is also now a radial bar just over the top of your health bar. Other things that have changed, you can probably see your equipped weapon just inside your health circle, but they're very visible things. There are some things that are, although they're visible, they're possibly not immediately identified. So I'm going to go through the ones that I think are the most relevant. There is literally a massive amount of things that have been changed. But first and foremost, there are new colossal seeds. So 7 have been provided at each restored fertile grove. So basically, you not only get them now from your grand trees, you also get them from... well, actually, you don't get them from your grand trees, do you? These are the colossal seeds, so these are the ones that create your ecosystems. So yeah, there's now more at fertile groves. Ecosystems now make the landscape greener and for a larger radius. Now you can probably tell all of these purple flowers are something new. Yes, they have definitely made it greener, and I must admit I do like it. One thing I would say though, and it is a small developer, so it's kind of, I don't know, I give them a little bit more leeway, but the foliage does not move when you walk through it. Now that's obviously quite common in games these days, that the foliage will move out of the way as you walk through it. Unfortunately, it doesn't do it in this situation, in this game, so that's just something to note. As part of the greening effect, a second cosmetic-only ring of plants and grass have been added to any town. So previously, especially on PlayStation, when you upgraded a town or when you put a town down, it would basically create a green area around, and it would kind of clip in and then disappear again, etc. They have fixed that basically. On screen there you can see there is a new hunger meter for creatures, so no more throwing loads of food in front of creatures for them to just turn around and walk away. In theory, and I say that because I did come across the biggest creature that I have seen, and although it was in effect starving, I did throw one of the items that it was basically showing, and it didn't try and eat it, it just kept walking away. So there are still a few glitches. Now they have already released a couple of hotfixes for some issues that were created by this update. I'm not going to go through those because they are just fixing things that should have been included in the first place. So we're just going to deal with the base update 11 information here. Modified the restored area around many special points of interest and shrines to be more location specific, making the world feel more impacted by your efforts. Mini poop added at Fertile Grove that meets certain conditions, so it's not animals' poop, it's the enchanted dung, as they call it. So they've basically added mini ones. They help explain the rules for picking up your new colossal seeds, basically. Peto should finally return to Tier 4 and Tier 5 tropical ecosystems. So there were some creatures that when you upgraded your ecosystem, they would just disappear. One of them was the Pitau. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If not, I'm sorry, but that's how I pronounce it. Colossal trees and ecology. Upgrade cost of colossal trees and grand trees has been adjusted to be less amity demanding. So it was one of the main issues that I had. You had to spend 1,000 amity to upgrade your colossal trees, which was just ridiculous amount. Animal dung is now more precious, so do go collecting that poop as soon as you see it, I think is the main thing there. Lighting, graphics and time of day. So this is one that I noticed when I booted up the game initially. Colour saturation is much better than it used to be. All of the landscape and the character look much better saturated, much higher saturation. Lighting on all presets has been adjusted and improved. Lower end systems should look better across the board. That's obviously PC specific, but in essence they've optimized more. Objects like large rocks that suddenly pop in on lower settings will be reduced. Again, PC specific. New fog now looks crisp and wonderful. I have to say I agree. I think there might be a little too much of it in some cases, like here where you can't even see the colossal tree, but it does look much better than it used to be. High elevation clouds now subtly cast moving shadows below, which I absolutely love, and it's definitely something that I have got used to since I've been playing V Rising, so it's nice to see it's been added here. More grass now blows in the wind, fair enough. Like I say, it would be nice if it would react to your movements as well, but you know, we can't have everything. Foliage should now have more of a colour range between light and dark tones. I think it does. Large amount of ground and rock textures have received an art pass, drastically improving their look. This is something that I did notice immediately. So when you're walking over a hill or up a cliff face or a rock face, you can see there's lots more detail. Even just colour and texture, it does make a huge impact. Most bodies of water have had a major art FX upgrade as well, so do look much nicer. There's a new means of upgrading health. A Chodogo spirit appears near colossal trees that let you complete requirements to upgrade your health. So again, you literally just got a health upgrade every time you upgraded a colossal tree previously, so there is a new system for that. Existing HP will automatically convert to a new system, so as you can see, it's that radial menu I mentioned at the beginning. All equipment slots are now unlocked by default, which is really nice. No more having to spend an absolute load of kip to unlock them. Players can comfortably carry 4 to 5 sets of armour, providing clothing. All clothing has received an armour balancing pass. They are going to look at this more in the future as well. No more hidden kip costs on clothing recipes. Added more recipes to unlock more clothing sets sooner once the player arrives in the mainland. So that doesn't affect my gameplay because I am at end game. But if you're starting a new game, you will notice that straight off. Added more recipes to unlock more clothing sets. I've just gone through. Additional bonus clothing pieces are provided along the main storyline. Again, you're only really going to notice that when you get to when you start a new game. Spears no longer have effectively infinite durability. I didn't notice that previously myself, but definitely something to note. Adjusted the materials cost to craft iron and steel tools, and reduce the kip cost, and iron and steel arrows slightly more expensive. Okay, fair enough. So they've adjusted the economy in kip. I'm not going to go through all of that because there were a lot of adjustments, but basically the cost to create one kip is now 75 scrap rather than 100. So they've just rebalanced the economy in that situation. There are 2 new mounts. There's Dundada and Flumbu. Whoever comes up with these names is amazing. They are so funny. It's unbelievable. So basically we have a Lugarath, one of those 2-legged feathered beasties. And there is also a Fuzzaroo, which is basically a furry kangaroo with blades on its legs. You can get both of those. One of them, I think it's the Fuzzaroo, also has a really high jump. New placeable machines added, so you can now have springboards, etc. I don't show them in my gameplay, unfortunately. They've also completely redone the building limit. So when you were putting buildings down in an area before, there was a bar which fills up to tell you how many buildings you have in that area. They've reworked that entire thing. So in theory, you can spread your buildings further out. But yeah, in essence, that system has been completely done. Lots of changes to the UI, which we've already kind of gone through. Multiplayer improvements as well. Load of bug fixes, and there are some known issues, but to be perfectly honest, as I say, they are pretty good at getting the hot fixes out as quickly as they can. So, there are tutorial boards that have appeared in towns. Now, they have moved some of the boards where you basically went to upgrade your towns. They've moved some of those, so you might find that some of the decorations you've placed in a town are now kind of stuck in these sign placements. You can move them though, so it's not too big a problem. But in essence, these boards teach you the systems again. So if you haven't played for a while and you go back into it and you can't remember exactly how to do X, Y or Z, so for instance you can't remember how to upgrade your villages, there is now this tutorial to help you do that. One other thing they've done is they've added a rarity identifier on the items that you pick up. So for example, if you pick up an epic item, you will have a purple diamond in the top left hand corner of the item picture within your inventory. Basically, these coloured diamonds just show the rarity at a quick glance. It does say in the text, as it always has, but this is just a quick identifier. Like I say, there's an absolute load of updates, and I would advise you to go and check the Dreamlit Games and Towers of Aghasba Discord channel. Towers of Aghasba Discord channel does have a link in their announcement section to all of the updates, including update 11. So it's definitely worth doing. But hopefully that little explanation has helped you to understand what changes have been made, and the gameplay on screen has hopefully shown you as well. I do think it's a really nice update. It does look good. I did notice that there was a bit of frame stutter. I'm not going to say it was frame rate drops or frame rate problems, but it definitely had a bit of a stutter, especially when I put frame blending on. To be honest, I always notice that frame blending does give it a bit of a stutter, so possibly worth keeping that off. Not frame blending, sorry, completely the wrong term. It's motion blur is what I'm talking about. But anyway, hopefully it's been helpful. If it has, please make sure you click the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and leave me a comment down below. And as always, I look forward to seeing you for my next video very soon. You all take care, and bye for now.